Generic greetings and welcome to Airships Conquer the Skies. Today's beverage is a nice glass of ruby breakfast with juicy bits. Tasty. So, in the conquest mode, technology and paths are unlocked via research, and there's different trees and different tiers in each of those trees. However, when you're just doing the, say, airship editor, it's not locked up to any particular thing. So we can go to, say, weapons, for example, and go to aerial charges, and it says, requires tech explosives tier 1, and we can place that no problem. Same as aerial torpedoes, requires cybernetics tier 4, and we can place all of these. It's not locked to any particular thing. However, there's one thing, or a couple of things that I've never really done. Now, in the conquest mode, I have made ships that are very advanced, but that's only because of the nature of the beast that we've been making bigger and better and more expensive vessels, because we've unlocked those, not because we wanted just to make the most over-the-top vessel, although that has happened, or certainly the most advanced vessel. But I think it's fair to say that we've never made something that's used the highest tier tech possible. And we're not going to be doing that today. We're going to go the opposite way. We're going to make something that is the most basic, I guess, least technologically advanced vessel that we can make. So it uses, it's not going to, in terms of like the components, we're going to be using like wood, we'll have sails, we'll have probably suspendium chambers. Actually, no, we probably won't use suspendium chambers. We'll use suspendium dust tanks, things like that. And in terms of weapons, probably the most basic thing that we can manage. So, I mean, the ram is quite basic. Things like harpoon gun, no, that's tier 2. I'm guessing there would be things like rifles, they're tier 1. Spike ram is tier nothing. So, I mean, we could use those. But also, there are things like the deck gun, which is, well, that's actually tier 3, surprising. Oh, ballista, there we go. There we go. That's the most basic thing we can use. Right, that's what we'll go for, I think. Something like that, based around the ballista. That wouldn't be a terrible idea, would it? Would it? Would it? I have no idea. Either way, we're going to find out. So let's try and make something. And how do we want to make these? Do we want to stack them? I don't think it particularly matters how we place them, but we'll make, there's probably something like that. Actually, we probably want to make something quite cheap, so I don't know if we will have all of those. In terms of the way we're going to keep this aloft, we'll have a quick check. Now, obviously, this is diesel punk, a steampunk diesel punk type thing, and we've got a lot of items in here that you may think would be basic, or things like that there. The propeller is actually tier 1. However, sails are tier 0, so we're going to be using that one. Anything that's marked as like not using it, but I'm guessing the suspending, the lift will be... large suspendium dust tank is basic. We could use that. Moon disc fragment chamber, that requires special things. Pressurized dust tank is tier 2. Suspendium tank, yeah, we're going to use that. We'll use that. So what we'll do is we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4... what I want to do is have it so we have, say, one there and there, and then we'll have corridors, you see, going around it. That could work. Don't know if it'll be a good idea, but that's what we're going to go with. And on the top, we'll have some sails. So, current service ceiling is quite high. It's 238 meters. Actually, we're going to put some more on it just to get some more DACA, I think. In terms of corridors, we'll go with corridor with ladder like so, and we'll do the same there, and we'll probably put something in the center, but I haven't yet decided. Although musket is actually very, very basic as well, although it doesn't really seem to fit. Rifle tier 1. So what is a musket then? Just the most basic thing I think we can use. Go over to weapons and we'll see what else we can put in there. Cannon is tier 1, bomb bay tier 1, deck gun tier 3, surprisingly flat cannon tier 4, Gatling, yeah, you would expect is quite high. A grand ram, ooh, perhaps not. Maybe we do put a ram in there like so. That isn't too bad. Service ceiling is fairly poor at 68 meters, and that's because that's a heavy thing. Let's not use that at all. Rifle is tier 1. Musket, I think we'll just put a musket there. I think that should be fine. A spike ram, although a spike ram could be of interest, and it's even heavier than the other one, so we're not going to use that. Sponsons are tier 2. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to go with the... Oh, grenades, what are those? Oh, we could use grenades, technically, although, actually, What? Nah, I know what the answer is going to be. I was going to say, what is a telescope? It requires optics tier 2, so we're not going to do that. As I said, we're going to go for the basic sort of, well, the most basic thing we can design, really. I'm going to actually rip that off the top there because I want to have the sails up there. Actually, could we make this a bit better and make it a bit flatter? I think we can we? Something like that and like that, but then we won't be able to join it up, so sadly we cannot do that. So we'll do that instead, and that'll go to there, but that can be... Oh no, that's fine as is. Right, there we are. So that is the rough idea for that one. We might make it a little bit longer when you consider what we're going to be putting on the top. If we go over to propulsion, we've got things like sails, which we could put sail on the back there or sail on the top like that. That's also possible. If we go for a triple sail, it would be actually not too bad. I don't think we need a triple sail though. I don't think that is strictly necessary. Just something like that perhaps. What's our speed on that one? Speed is 156 156. A little bit faster than I expected. A large sail on the back would give me 137, but it's 139 meters service ceiling, whereas that is 150. So that's just better. That vertical sail is just better for our purposes, so we'll use that instead. So that's fine. We'll stick with that for now. In terms of costs, 213, so it's really cheap. So we don't have any ammunition when we don't have any crew. So let's resolve that. Let's go over to resources and ammo store. We'll probably put in a... Do we want a large ammo store? I don't think we do. I think a small ammo store, 2 of those, would be perfectly acceptable. However, what I'm going to do is rip that out there and then place it like so, just to be a little bit more efficient, you see. So there's 2 of those in. We're not going to have a fire point, although a fire point would be quite useful, wouldn't it? I think we're not going to bother, though. I think we're just going to sack that one off. We don't need any coal. We do need a way to give orders to the ship. I'm actually thinking of just doing that, you know, and just making it fairly cheap. Yeah, why not? Let's go with that. In terms of crew, the minimum is 4, but let's go over to command and crew. We want to have a cockpit, and we'll put a cockpit... I'm tempted to put it up there, but it doesn't... Oh, we can't because it doesn't have a ladder going up. A crow's nest is possible. We'll put it right up the top there. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like that. What else do you want to do? We want to have it so we can have... I mean, do I want to do that? And make it just a bit bigger? No, I don't think I do. I think I was fine with what I was going for there. Or maybe not. Like that, perhaps? That almost doubles the cost, but it also doubles the firepower, doesn't it? It'll just end up like a brick, so let's not. Let's just go with that. I mean, it's still a brick anyway, but hey-ho. We'll put that there, and then we also need to put a berth in. Actually, berths. We can probably look out and do this. Like that. That can go there. And then finally, we need supply hatches. So supply hatches will be in basic and steel supply hatch. No, wooden supply hatch. Right, who would have thought that that would be a working vessel? I don't know whether it works in game, as in, is it useful, but it's statistically, technically the best kind of, right? A working thing. It doesn't have any errors. I mean, in terms of the overlays, you can see hit points, pathetic. Water, nothing. Repair tools, nothing. Ammunition, pretty good, although I don't think we need that either. Ammo store. We've got 24 in there, and how much do these take? These is reload time 2.5 seconds, clip size 3 rounds. So I think 2 is acceptable. Coal, we don't have any explosion damage. Yeah, that's the problem. When these go boom, the whole ship's going to fall apart and it's not going to be armoured. So I don't think this is going to be very good at all. It's currently got wooden armour on it, which is tier 1. Reinforced wooden armour, nothing. A dragon shell technically is no tier. You see, it just requires a certain thing. So that's us. Service ceiling 100 meters. Speed is 164 kph. Recommended crew is 11. And now we've got 12. There we go. Command every 12 seconds. Right, decoration. Do we want to paint it? Do you want to put flames on it? It seems a bit silly to put eyes and mouths on it, which is probably why we'll do it. I don't think these gold leaves are also really suitable for this one. A wooden nameplate would be fine. Yep, there we go. Does it actually alter the speed of anything? No, it doesn't. There we go. And I don't think flames is... Oh, we could put a... Look at that, like a meteor right on that there. Like, shoot this part. No, I don't think we're going to. In terms of painting, do we want to paint it? No. No. I think we'll just go back to... It's like an orange colour. Actually, I quite like that. That's fine. That's fine. I do want to remove the paint. Nah, let's keep it basic. Basic as we like. Okay, there we are. So, is this going to work? I have no idea. So what do we want to call it? We're going to call it the Prim, short for primitive. We will save the design, save, and let's see how useless it is. Okay, combat, standard day fight, add airship, the Prim, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is just over 1,000. Okay, so we'll add an airship. And what's around that area? We've got a Denver at 800. We've got a Leroy test, which is about firing up, which is just under the 1,000 mark. And we have a Sterling at 1,500. So I guess technically the closest... Oh, Barry as well, it was 800. I think then technically the Leroy test is going to be the best one for us. So we're going to place about there. And I'm going to probably move these further back. I have no reason to not just sit back and fire, because this thing, as you may notice, has no forward-facing weapons. It's all firing up. I'm not very confident about this, but let's find out. Immediately I'm going to pause it. I'm going to put it onto... well, you can see already shots out. There's our there's our shots whizzing out there. We're going to go for an aimed fire, and look at that. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Oh, you know what I should have done? That's dead. Yep, that's dead. The problem I have is that... Ooh, we're quite fast, aren't we? There we go. Problem I have is that these thing here, or these things rather, the orders we can't give them many orders. So it's going to move over to there. That's fine with me. I'm going to move to there and back. So we're going to use these to our advantage. It's also maneuvering as well, but we have the we don't have the advantage, but we have the speed bonus. There we go. So it's now going to go right underneath us. I'm going to say go here and spin round. The disadvantage is that it will probably now shoot us as we go over, but we are moving. It looks like the middle one's caught it and bought it. There we go. So we're going to head off, and we are about as fast as them, and hopefully it doesn't know how far we're going, and it will. No, it looks like the orders have been to issue right near us, so we're going to go there and spin round. We're going to start firing shots out. Going to wait to see what it does. Looks like they are going to try and go below us. I'm going to head down, and oops, we've been rammed. That's not good. But actually, it is good. Looks like we've taken some of their weapons off. And the advantage that we have with these weapons is that none of them blow up. They've got loads of secondary explosions, and they're going. It's going. Look at that. It's really not having a good time about it, is it? Let's go up to there and see what it does. But I think it's only got one weapon left. Or does it have any weapons at all? It must do. Otherwise, it would be out for the count. Problem we have is service ceiling. And we're at it. We're at it. So what can we do about it? Can this take off? That cannot take off. Why can it not take off? Service ceiling too low. Yeah, it's lost too much. So that hasn't given up yet. I'm unsure as to why. Well, here's the thing. I don't use coal. I can put it to max speed and wait for it to fall out of the sky. I did not expect that. It never occurred to me that our weapons don't blow up. The only thing that blows up is the ammo store for us. In terms of ammo, we've only fired a tiny bit, so it probably would be to our advantage to remove an ammo store and do something else with that. Also, increasing the service ceiling would be a good idea, and maybe putting another weapon in, I think, would also be a good idea. But then again, would that be like what we've got now, or would it be just building it too big for the sake of building it? Maybe this is perfectly fine as is. I don't think the ammo is required. I think we're going to remove one of those ammos just to stop the secondary explosion stuff. And there we are. I'm very, very surprised. As I said, that's just going to keep bobbing around there, and we will eventually win. What I'm going to do is send one of these off to the other side, just to do that. And just to see if it moves. Victory. There you go. As soon as I moved, it's done. Actually, it says disarmed as soon as I moved, so maybe it was just not counting it. Okay. That was actually quite interesting. Let's try that again. So we'll go for airship, the prim. I'm going to put the prims again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 should be fine. And that's 1,305. If we go to airship... I've got the Dresden. That will just beat us, right? There's no point in facing that because it's a high-level bomber that's well armored. We'll never be able to fight it. It can just go above us. Maybe that's where the downfall of these things are. I mean, what's its service ceiling? Its service ceiling is... Oh. Airship. The Prim... service ceiling 95 meters. The Dresden is 128 meters. So actually, it might not be a really unfair fight. It's still overpointed. We could probably add another one. Add airship. Put a prim in. Oh, there you go. So we're at 1,566 against their 1,540. So we're a little bit over, but you know it's a drop in the ocean, really. Right, let's start the fight. There's the shots whizzing out, as you can see. The Dresden is not being a bomber. It's flying under us for some reason, and we've already taken chunks of it out. Remember, these things cause a lot of piecing damage. And there we go. I'm going to then simply go there and say do a Yui. So unpause it. Acceleration is quite good. There's no soft start on it. It's just woomph and it's going, and it's going to get shot a hell of a lot when these spin round. And there we go. There's the shots whizzing out. I'm going to split these up. I'm going to try and pincer it. These ones I will just say move back over, just so we've got something shooting it all the time. I've had to take evasive action there because these were about to get crashed into. I'm going to then move these. Actually, I'm going to move these a bit closer. We might as well. I'm guessing that's going to try and go up. Let's move these to there. What I'll do is I'll move that to there, and I'm going to try and just keep it locked in. Try and keep it focused. Move down. If it wants to ram, I can ram. That's no problem whatsoever. There we are. See, I'm just keeping it sort of... I cannot believe that this is working. It has to be a fluke. It has to be. It has to be. We're bullying this thing. With the most basic vessels that we can manage. It's got loads more armor. Oh, hang on. That could be a problem, because if it starts getting its bombs in, then this is going to cause us an issue. Okay. There's the orders. I'm going to say go back like that. Oh my good grief. I would have never have called this. I would have never in a million years have said this is something that I expect to happen. It could be because of the AI giving some questionable orders about how to use a bomber. We've just split it in half. These little things are now my new favourite thing in this game. Look at that. It's like when you play Civ and you've got an elite archer unit versus an Apache helicopter. Oh, one more. Let's try that again. Add airship. Prim. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. Add airship. Now let's put it at, it's certainly not a stacked fight because I don't think the other two were stacked, but we're going to put it against the Sterling and we'll put the Sterling right up close. Sterling has just got a hell of a lot of Gatling guns on the front, so it's going to probably tear through these like tinfoil. In fact, fast more than tinfoil because quite frankly we don't have any of that. We're going to go for aimed fire and target is not available. See that? They cannot get above it. That's their downside, and the fact that they've got no armor whatsoever. That's a problem. I don't think we can win this fight simply because of that. Okay, that's a thing. That's a thing. I'm going to say move up, and we will get some shots out. There we go. Some shots are whizzing out. It is now heading further down, but that is fine with us because we do have shots that do that. They go down. This thing has... Oh, perfect. A nice little drop there. It managed to cut that up, but as you saw, it's landed right in the appropriate place for us. It's trying to ram me again. I'm going to go to there and do that. Those are fine. That can go to there and flip round. That one can go to there and flip round. And those can simply move down and flip, like so. And what we'll do is we'll issue some more orders up when we can. Those go up. That one is already at the highest elevation. And it's still going to be a tough fight, if not an impossible fight, actually. Because we are getting shot to bits. What I'm going to do then is say move back to there. What I need to do is get some distance and hope that it comes down, which it has. It has. So I'm going to say go to there. Enemies hiding in the fog. It's now come above the fog. See, the problem is that these things, their velocity is poor. You can see the we're going to call it shell velocity there, but no, the velocity of the projectile is fairly poor. And so is the arc of fire above as well. So we're having to hope. What I'm going to do, I'm going to use that to my advantage. See, I'm coming down. It's going to have to reposition. So it either comes down and gets shot, or it stays where it is. There we go. It's coming down. It's coming down to meters. That's fine. That's exactly what we wanted. We're on aimed fire here. I think what I'll do is get closer. This one then we'll just bring up. Oh, looks like they've changed targets. That's not good. It's already taken a lot of damage. So once again, I will issue more orders and go over there. Like so. Put a bit of distance between us. It's miniguns, so that's not very accurate in itself. It's come right down, now shoot this target, which is an interesting choice. We're still on aimed fire, and it's just hovering around. Damage is not amazing, but as you can see, the piecing damage is great. It's ripping the armor straight off. It's not caused any serious breaks in it yet. Oh, he says just as it hits the suspendium chamber, and the suspendium chamber's blown up. That's a GG. OP. Ballista OP. Right, bring it closer. Right, there we go. Spin it round. Flip. These ones. Rapid fire. How are we doing for ammo? 22.48, 21 of 48. So not bad. And there we go. I think we've just killed the last... not the last crew member, but I think we've just taken out the last gun. Disarmed. Yep, there it is. Okay. I think we can make a note here. Huge success. Airship editor. Open design. Open at the prim. So the question is, do we replace the small ammo store? As in, do we just remove one of them? Well, I thought these would die a lot quicker than they did. And in fairness, if you hit the wrong part, this thing does fall out of the sky. However, I think the main problem is that we don't have a very good service ceiling. So if we remove some of the... if we add a little bit more, and make it longer, that could be the way forward. 2 more would give it a service ceiling of 138 meters. But it also puts the price up by a very noticeable amount. 276 just for the extra 1. Like so. Like that. And no other changes. I don't think that's unreasonable. I don't think that's unreasonable. I don't think we need all those crew though. It does say recommended crew 11. And we've got 12 crew. If we undercrew it a little bit, it would be not really a problem. Okay, I think that. Open design, prim, 261. It currently costs 266, so it's 5 more. However, the service ceiling has been increased somewhat. And we've lost a bit of crew. That's it, though. That's it. So I'm going to probably just put a nameplate on it and save the design. I'm going to save it as the prim. I'm not going to mark to it. I think that's perfectly fine. Let's try that again. So combat. Airship, let's give it a proper test. There you go, there's the Coventry. So the Coventry, fairly high level, lots of rockets with explosions. If those rockets come anywhere near, it's going to make a massive bang. So, add airship, the prim, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 7. Near as damn it. 1,862 versus 1,891. So they're a bit overpointed, but I don't really care. Start the fight. Immediately pause it. If we move these, you can see our service ceiling is... Oh, we're actually at it now, but it's a little bit higher than it was before. It's actually going down, so I'm going to counter that by basically doing the same thing. So I'm going to move to there, and then move to there, because I want to block it. I want to block it off to make sure it cannot maneuver. And it's actually spun round for some interesting reason. You can see it is firing away there, but we are doing the exact same thing back. I'm going to put these aft ones on aimed fire. I'm going to put the front ones on rapid fire. We now have a fire. We have a fire, but that is not going to make us... Well, it's not going to cause a terrible amount of problems, because I'm going to use it as a ram. Which then took the sail off. So, you know, that's a thing. We've absolutely decimated them. We've decimated it. We've lost 1 prim. We haven't even lost it. See this one here? I'm going to say ground ship. Land on top of it. Ah, it's not going to land on top of it. You have to ram. You have to use ramming. So I'm going to say ram to there. Let's push it to the ground, and we'll keep it there. There you go. Ram to there. Chisel the back end off that. And then there we are. There's the only bit that was armed, the one that fell off the bottom. Job done. 1 prim is immobile because it's lost its sail. This one has got its back damaged, and there's a bit of damage around the place. Okay. Again, pretty much a universal victory. However, there's a couple of things that we can't take on. So, there's the necrosis. This is a carrier. Okay? I don't think the skewers can take it out. I don't think they can shoot that. But there's only one way to find out. Airship, prim. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just stack them up because we have to fit them in. Right. So, 4,788 versus 4,975. They have a couple 100 points advantage, but I don't think it's going to much matter. Start the fight. Immediately, you can see shots are whizzing out. The bottom ones I will have to move further up. In fact, I'm going to have to move most of these further up. Move to there. These ones can move to there and go. And you can see immediately we have a lot of shots going out there. Yeah, I think it probably is best for us to just rapid fire. You can see immediately, though, there's the problem. It can go higher than we can shoot. So, basically, we've already lost. We cannot fight this. There's one thing we might be able to do. And that's to split up. We'll split these front ones up to there. Like so. And it might make them think twice about doing things. No, I don't think it is. And you can see the harpoons cannot shoot those. So it's just going to sit up there and take us out. That's a shame. That's a shame. Well, you can't win them all. You can't win them all. If I was to perhaps make... a bigger version of these, so maybe one that cost more grand, would have a high service ceiling and lots of these, then that might be able to take that on. So like a capital vessel of these. These are the little swarmers and then a capital version. I know what I'm going to make next. That has been a bit of Airships Conquer the Skies. I'm really happy with the prims. I think they're really good. They fared a lot better than expected. And this is why we do these tests. We've done designs where they should work. There should be no reason why they shouldn't, and it fails for unforeseen reasons, or rather, ones that I couldn't have gleaned until after the fact. So, to set off with an idea of making a very, very basic vessel, and it work very well, is a pleasant surprise. I'm going to do another episode where we make basically a capital version of it, where it's a much bigger vessel. Similar armament and construction, it's just going to be the same components, but it's going to be bigger and longer and fly higher. And we'll see how that one goes. As always, hope you have enjoyed the video. Thanks very much for watching. Take care and generic partings.